I can't. I'm too excited. Well, bitch, don't commit the crime if you can't do the time. Also, maybe you didn't commit the crime, because then that would be sad. Hello friends, and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm doing another book haul, so for anyone who wants to throw me shade, do in the comments for engagement. Thank you. I know I'm technically on a book buying ban, but have I really been following it? No. But am I happy? Yes. I'm very happy with the decisions I've been making. I specifically went to 2 used bookstores when I visited my family in Portland during April. And don't ask me about the 30 books in 30 days challenge because your girl's behind and not freaking out at all. While visiting my family, I went to 2 used bookstores. One is Powell's, which is a very popular one in Oregon. Highly recommend visiting if you go to Oregon. It's a very cute store. And normally you can get used books in those stores, but also sometimes they sell like new releases and they sell like everything. But supposedly if you dig, you can find a good deal. I did not and only purchased 2 books from that store, so. But it's okay, I capped it. I didn't go too far. But then on the other hand, I went to a library book sale. Not the best bet because I had to now lug a whole stack of books back from Oregon to LA like a crazy person because the books were like $1 and I needed them with my soul. Okay, let's get into the books. I have 2 books I wanted to mention really quickly that were sent to me so kindly, and then we're going to talk about these used books because yeah, reuse, reduce, recycle, it's good for the environment. I'm trying my best. The very first book is an ARC, Ballad in the Dagger. This is from the same author who wrote the Shadow Shaper trilogy. I have read the first one and I'm very excited to continue on with the series. And this is his new embarkment. I believe it is going to be a duology and it was so very kindly sent to me and I'm really excited to dive into another series of his. I just love his environments, and this world specifically sounds very interesting. Almost 16 years ago, Mateo's island homeland disappeared into the sea. Boom, boom. So there's gonna be like magical elements and stuff. Oh, I can't wait. And this comes out, I believe, yes, May 22nd. So mark your calendars if you're excited for a new duology. The first sentence is, do you remember San Marigal? I believe that's how you say it. I could be butchering it. I'll maybe insert a picture here of the first sentence. But do you remember? Because that is saying, you know. This next book was so kindly sent to me. She's itty bitty. She's teeny weeny. But this is Elizabeth Acevedo's newest visual poem collection with a artist so kindly, you know, giving us looks, serving us some colors, some vibrance, and it is Inheritance, which is again like a visual poem. So we have lots of illustrations. I'm very excited to see if I'll like this. Kind of is giving me Amanda Gorman's poetry book where it's, you know, like itty bitty. But I obviously love Elizabeth Acevedo, so I feel like this is more so a collection piece. You know, she gonna go right on the shelf next to the Poetics, so I can, you know, praise her and give her all the glory she deserves. Oh, I already love the first page. Some people tell me to fix my hair. Oh, see? Oh, love it. And there's relax in the back. Fun fact, I used to relax my hair from 7th grade till about my first year in college. I would relax the crap out of my hair, which is bad for your hair and your scalp. So I wouldn't recommend. If you don't know how to style your hair, you gotta figure it out. YouTube Academy is what I learned. Yeah, a story for another day. Let's get into these used books. Okay, what are we feeling? Talking about expensive books first? Those 2 expensive books or all the cheap ones? You know what, let's do some cheap books. Let's talk about all the cheap books that I got that I'm so excited for. This is a major throwback for maybe a lot of us here, but the Spiderwick Chronicles. How many of you read these? These were probably one of the first chapter books that I read, besides like there was something like Judy Moody, a series of unfortunate events. There's a bunch of those books that I used to read. This one was one that I remember reading from beginning to end because your girl loved fairies. I was like, is this real? Can this be real? I want this to be real. You know what I mean? So I have the first one, and yes, this one has a stupid sticker on it. I have to figure out how to remove it. I have the first one in this style, and then I saw they were selling these for like $2. And I was like, I'll grab that. And they only had the 5th book and the 3rd book. So eventually I will get my hands on the 2nd and 4th and have a full collection. And I think there's also a sister series to the Spiderwick Chronicles that I also want to get my hands on. And since these aren't like the first of a series, I'm not going to read their sentences, but just know, fairy, magic, these kids move into a creepy house and they realize that magical creatures exist, and they learn the ability or figure out the tools to see these magical creatures, and all hell breaks loose. You're gonna notice there's a young adult vibe or even middle grade vibe. I got holes. I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, this is a great book. And I remember it being like one of my favorite movies growing up. I believe it also talks about race in a very interesting way and things like that. I know the movie did, but I'm interested to see the source material. Freaking love this movie, and yeah, I wanna get into the drama. I wanna feel them in the heat of the day digging holes. You know why? Because maybe they're looking for money. Also, this was $1. We love that. We love good discount. Okay, the first sentence is, there is no lake at Camp Green Lake. That's depressing. How you gonna say lake in the name and not have a lake? Excuse me. I am breaking all of the book buying rules in this haul, and you know what? Learn from my mistakes. That's all I gotta say. The next 2 books that I got, again, $1 each. Makes me think of Liza Koshy. $1? I used to watch way too much of her. Probably that's where I got my personality from. I love A City of Ember, which is the first installment of this quartet, and I don't own the first book, which is, you know, a very good reason to then pick up the 2nd and 3rd. But I've read the first one, and I really want to continue the series. I've only read the first one, want to keep reading along, want to learn all the drama. Basically, if you haven't seen that terrible movie, I don't recommend you watch the movie, read the book. It's way better. The movie is just bad. So bad. A City of Ember is basically a dystopian world, distant future. These people are kind of, how do I not spoil this, just in case you haven't heard or know the summary of A City of Ember. These people are kind of stuck in this survival encampment. There's no sunlight. There's rationing of food. Like, something happened and they are kind of stuck in this containment thing. And everything's put on its head because what is life? What's up? What's down? What's a butterfly? I can't, it's too hard to spoil this series. Spoilers in the first sentence. Okay, not gonna read you the first sentences because this will spoil you, but I highly recommend you read it. That was one of the main books that got me into reading in like middle school back in the day, when I was like, ew, you want me to read? And my mom was like, yes, here's a gem. And thank you, Mom. It was a gem. I do love this series, and one day I'll actually finish it. These next purchases were impulsive, but again, I'm just, you know, me and my mom are chatting. We're both book lovers, and we're like, da 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 da, everything's $1. We're excited. And I happened to find the trilogy. The girl with the dragon tattoo. The girl who played with the fire with, oh yeah, is this the second one? I think this is the second one. The girl who played with fire, and the girl who kicked the hornet's nest. I believe there's actually 6 books in this series, but the first 3 are written by the same author, and my mom and so many people tell me about how amazing this book is. So I was like, for $1, and I do like mass market paperback books, even though this one, I think in the middle is, they're like all different sizes, to be honest. I'm not big on the aesthetic of the individual book because I organize by color, so you're never gonna see them together. That's the benefit of a rainbow shelf, is that the individual book can be kind of ugly and not cute, but it blends in because we're just really looking at the color. Highly recommend. So yeah, I got these and I'm really excited to read them. Again, I felt like a primal need to get these books, and I don't know when I'm gonna actually binge the series, because you know, I'm gonna binge it. That's how I roll. Also, ask me what this story's about. Yeah, you know. I don't know. You know that I don't know. I just think it's based on some almost real life events, possibly. It was writing about what country? Someone's hierarchy. Some nobility BS country, you know, everyone sucks. And he was writing about the people hierarchy, something or other. Who knows? I know there's a girl with dragon tattoos who helps investigate a case of something. Murder, financial fraud, something. That was the worst summary I've ever made in my life. I apologize. Oh wait, let me read the first chapter. Oh, there's a timeline. Yeah, I feel like this book's all about the uppity. They gave me a whole family tree. You can't see that. Okay, chapter 1, Friday, December 20th. The trial was irreversibly over. Everything that could be said had been said, but he had never doubted that he would lose. Dun dun dun! Well, bitch, don't commit the crime if you can't do the time. Also, maybe you didn't commit the crime, because then that would be sad. The last few books, this is actually the last book that I got for $1 from the library sale, which I'm not gonna be embarrassed, but I'm low-key embarrassed that I have never read this, and I'm so intrigued. I read the first like few pages whilst in the store, and I'm like, okay, maybe I really do need to read this book. Haven't watched the movie, have no understanding what it's about, but it's The Book Thief. I know. Again, I was not a big reader. By the time middle school ended and I got into high school and people were pushing Romeo and Juliet, and what else were we trying to read in high school? I had so many books that I spark noted everything. Everything. In college, everything. I had priorities. I'm an actor. I handed in my assignments and got my B and went along and got my degree, okay? For people who chasing their literary degrees, I can understand the difference, the necessity to read. I'm a skimmer. Okay, but yeah, so no idea what really this is about, besides that I think the narrative voice is of death, which I think is super cool. Oh, it takes place in Nazi Germany. Nice, you know, what a wonderful time to be alive. And I think this is the movie tie-in cover, which is interesting. Again, never watched it, probably won't, because again, book to movie adaptations are kind of rocky. Let me know in the comments if you liked The Book Thief, the movie. I might give it a gander if one of you guys say it was good. Interesting. The prologue is a mountain range of rubble in which our narrator introduces himself, the colors, and the book thief. Interesting. First page, Death and Chocolate. First, the colors. So definitely know that I'm behind on the hype train, and I'm not saying I'm gonna get on the hype train, but the very first few pages did impress me. So I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna commit. It was $1. I couldn't not commit. I was just like, I'm buying every other book. Why not buy one that seems like really cool and that everyone loves? I have 2 more books to share with you, which sadly I did pay full price for. You know, you just can't always get around it. Even in a used bookstore, they be lying to you sometimes. Like, have you ever gone to the dollar store and something wasn't $1? It happens. First book that I'm so excited for, it is The Ties That Tether. That's how you say it, right? Ties That Tether? Ties That Tether. This is a romance, adult romance story featuring Nigerian culture. I think the main character is Nigerian American, and she's trying to find some romance, and her family's like, but girl, you need to date a Nigerian. Stay within the bubble. Which, yep. That's as much as I know about it, but I am looking for more books that are like Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. That book, I don't know if you know, if you can watch my recent vlogs and stuff, I really enjoyed that book. That's not too heavy on the romance, whereas this one I know is going to be more heavy on the romance, but I've also been reading more romance. So excited if we dip into more romance. But yeah, this has been on my list ever since reading Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. This book has been like popping up being like, hey, what about me? I'm also a black woman who is an adult struggling with romance. So I was like, okay, me too. Chapter 1, culture is important. Oh, this book's gonna get deep. I'm excited. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. This last book, it's so beautiful and sexy. If books can be sexy, this is a sexy book. Okay, this is Goliath by Tochi Yamabuchi. One of my favorite authors. Loved War Girls, loved Beast Made of Nights. I still need to read the sequels of each of those series. And then what else? Riot Baby. So much good work. He's working his bum off creating all of this fun stories. But I'm a little scared for this one because this one, though it sounds real good, still scared. Okay, so in the 2050s, Earth has begun to empty. Those with the means and the privilege have departed to the great cities of the United States for more comfort confines of space colonies. So Earth is crumbling. People who got money are like, okay, bye, we're just gonna go into space. And those left salvage what they can from the collapsing infrastructure. So a good dystopian story. I don't know the main person we follow in this though, but bitch, this book was so expensive. That's the only thing. My formal complaint. Tochi Yamabuchi, love your writing, mad respect, but do your books need to be that expensive? I've been wanting to get my hands on Riot Baby, a short novella which I'm so excited to read, but why is it $20 for a novella? Why are you hurting me so bad? So I saw this and I was like, okay, it's like $1 or $2 cheaper. And don't ask me, I already searched Amazon, I already searched other things. I went to a used bookstore, but it's a new book, and I don't think people are gonna purchase this and be like, oh, let me just own it. Ooh, I love when the title page matches like the cover. We love a good theme. Okay, so Summer Part 1. Before his flight to Earth, they had warned Jonathan about the gangs. In quotations. What? I can't. I'm too excited. Those are all the books that I bought. Not too many. Let me count them up real quick because I can't count. 13 new books added to the collection. I am currently very excited for them. We will see within the year if I'm like, I'm gonna unhaul this book because I never read it. Hopefully not, because I'm also happy that these are used books too, because you know I'm all about rehoming new books. If you didn't see one of my latest videos, I started a Pango Books account, so I'm selling books, which you can literally click the link in my description and purchase books from my unhaul videos that I've unhauled and rehome them. And if you're a new Pango Books user, you can use the code JND5 and get a little discount on checkout. It is only within the US, sadly, but the cool thing is like, I love that idea. I want to, if I'm going to be purchasing lots of books, I'm gonna aim for used books or read the book at the library and then purchase it afterwards. So yes, I broke some rules where I was like purchasing whole series, but at the same time following the idea that only purchasing books and series that I've read from and enjoyed, like the Spiderwick Chronicles and City of Ember, both series I know I love and want to collect, so that's good. Did I also, you know, buy a trilogy like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and have literally no idea what it's about? There's like always, there's a give and take. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you made it to the end of this video, make sure you leave down below this emoji so I know you are the real MVP. I also have a Patreon if you want bonus content from me. Other than that, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna go drink some coffee even though it's 6 p.m.